I want to thank Indirect Cafe for supporting Nature's Little Recyclers with becoming our first coffee ground pickup center. I thank them for taking the extra time to be green and supporting our new urban vermiculture green tech venture. We're here. We're going to be consolidating our first weeks from the Indirect Cafe, and man, this stuff really looks good. Let me go ahead and show you. We're going to consolidate it into one gray bucket, and as you can see right there, that's really good material. That's almost plant food itself. And we want to make sure we clean it out nice and neat. And then we're going to be rinsing these out with soap and water to make them nice and clean again, so that we make sure that we can stay in there. So as you can see, there's a lid. And let me do this one a little bit slower. This is the morning that. And as you can see, coffee holds a lot of moisture, holds a lot of nutrients, and 6 tons of this. What you're seeing right here is just one coffee shop, 1 week of one product. So imagine if you times this by the entire city, and you're talking about a lot of stuff. And this is very, very valuable. This is ecological gold. This is really a high-end material. It grows a lot of things. So that this stuff is going to be turned into compost, which by spring will be used to feed urban farming projects all over the city. And so now we're going to take it down to the plant and set up our first bins with it. Hi, I'm Ed with Nature's Little Recyclers by Paganics, and we're going to be starting a new bin today. We're going to be using a 10-gallon bin, which is a little smaller because we're going to be setting up a new bin for espresso coffee grounds. As you know, one of the things I like to use best is Excelsior, which I had left over from a project, and newspaper, which we've wetted. Now, one of the things you have to understand about it is that you want something with structure. So you could use cardboard, you could use other organic things, you could use even wood chips. Certainly all of that is usable. And now this is nice and moist because we want it wet. We don't want it absolutely so soaked that it's going to drown the worms. So we kind of add all this material, and it looks pretty nice. And you know, you mix it in there. The Excelsior gives it structure, the newspaper gives them some grit, and all of that. So now I've done that. And as you can see, it's nice and mellow. Okay, and so what do we do next? Well, of course, this time I would normally put a food layer. And this time, the food layer is going to be very, very nice espresso, given to us by Indirect Cafe of Chicago, who's going to be our first, really been our first benefactor to help us do this first experiment with the equivalent of it. 6 tons of this stuff, 6 tons of coffee grounds, are used on a daily basis in the city of Chicago, and it's a very, very nutritionally rich material. It's ecological gold. A lot of people love to use it for their gardens, and for our worms, man, this is just going to be like this should be just like easy to eat, easy to use, and that. Now I've made a nice layer of it. You know, I'm going to take my little napkins I have left over. These are just because I want to kind of put them out there. You can do that, you know, any sort of things, like I said, any sort of paper, including paper towels, can be used. Alrighty, so now we got a beautiful, beautiful, just beautiful layer, which looks just like peat moss, just looks like other thing. Now we're going to add our worms. Now, the big thing about our worms, as you can see, I'm going to be adding them across, but I'm adding a mixture this time from the other bins. This is, as you can see, this is some materials. Because without some of the actual microbes, because one of the things about great coffee is that you have to use a nice high steam or high temperature water to kind of brew your coffee, which you get your essential oils out, but you leave all that other vitamins, you leave all that other nutrition, and it kills off the microbes in it. So we have to reintroduce microbes, and this is a great way of doing it, is doing it this way. And then as you can see, we're going to be introducing about 150 beautiful worms. A quarter of a pound, as you can see right there, right on top. And there we go. I feel a little bit of dryness into the coffee grounds, so I'm going to add just a touch of water, just because I want to. But you know, I'm not. As you see, I'm not going to pour it directly out. I'm just going to do this. So I just want to get some extra moisture on it. Not too much. We do not want to drown our guys. Our worms need moisture, but they do not need to be drowned. They breathe through their skin. And as you can see, I'm just kind of putting it on there. Yep. I don't really want to pour it on there as much as that. And last but not least, I'm going to get a nice thick piece of burlap. Yes, they will eat burlap. As you know, if you've been watching us, they will eat t-shirts and they will eat burlap. And this will be a nice cover. And we are going to put that on there. And that'll be there. And that will make a nice, moist, put a cover on it. And we will reopen this in a couple of weeks to show you what our coffee grounds are going to do. I'm Ed for Nature's Little Recyclers by Paganics at the plant. And I hope that you'll come down and visit me someday here.